For decades, the West has championed liberal democracy and free market capitalism as the ultimate model for human progress, shaping foreign policy and global institutions around this belief. From the Marshall Plan to interventions in Iraq and Afghanistan, the message has been clear: adopt our systems for prosperity and freedom. Yet this crusade often ignores the diversity of cultures and histories worldwide, assuming a one-size-fits-all solution. Now, cracks are appearing in this foundation, forcing a re-evaluation of whether the Western model is truly universal. Before promoting its system abroad, the West must confront its own democratic struggles. Political polarization and gridlock have eroded the image of stable governance, while populist leaders and contentious elections have exposed deep divisions. Military interventions in Iraq and Libya, meant to spread democracy, instead fueled chaos and instability. These contradictions undermine the West's credibility, revealing a system that is messy, evolving, and far from perfect. The gap between democratic ideals and reality is widening, making the model less persuasive to others. The world is watching and questioning. Free market capitalism promised prosperity for all, but rising inequality and stagnant wages have left many behind. The 2008 financial crisis shattered faith in self-regulating markets, exposing the risks of unchecked speculation and the cost to ordinary people. Economic insecurity has fueled populism and distrust in institutions, challenging the narrative that capitalism guarantees opportunity. Instead of shared wealth, the system now breeds anxiety and cynicism. Any nation considering this model must weigh its social and political costs. As Western confidence falters, we see a growing sense of uncertainty about the future of established political and economic systems. The traditional models are being questioned, and their ability to deliver consistent results is under scrutiny. China's state-led capitalism offers a striking alternative, a different path to economic progress that has captured global attention. China's rapid economic rise, an unprecedented transformation in a relatively short period, achieved without political liberalization, presents a unique case study in development, challenging conventional wisdom. This model appeals to many developing nations, particularly those seeking to accelerate their own economic growth. They are seeking growth and stability, often prioritizing these goals above immediate political reforms. Its ability to mobilize resources on a massive scale and plan long-term, with ambitious infrastructure projects and strategic development goals, stands in stark contrast to Western political gridlock, where short-term political cycles often hinder long-term planning. For some, the China model proves, convincingly, that prosperity doesn't necessarily require Western-style democracy, challenging the long-held assumption that political and economic liberalization must go hand in hand. Yet, this path comes with trade-offs, significant compromises that cannot be ignored. Limited freedoms, a restriction on individual liberties, censorship, control over information and the media, and human rights abuses, raising serious ethical concerns. Still, for leaders prioritizing stability and development above all else, China's approach is compelling, offering a seemingly viable alternative to the Western development paradigm. Its success challenges the idea, the deeply ingrained belief, that there's only one route to modernity, opening up a debate about diverse paths to national progress. Many nations view Western models not with open arms, but with a degree of caution, a hesitation born from experience. This perspective is deeply rooted, viewed through the lens of colonial history, a past that continues to shape the present. The echoes of that era resonate in contemporary interactions. They are seeing not liberation, but exploitation and imposed values, a legacy of unequal power dynamics that left deep scars on societies and cultures. The imposition of foreign systems often disrupted existing social structures. Calls for free markets and democracy, while seemingly benevolent, can sound like echoes of past domination, a reminder of times when such concepts were used to justify control and extraction of resources. This historical context is fueling skepticism about Western motives, creating a sense of unease and a questioning of the true intentions behind these proposals. Beyond historical grievances, cultural differences also matter, playing a significant role in shaping perceptions and influencing attitudes towards external models. In a world where the West values individualism and debate, often prioritizing individual achievement and open discourse, others prioritize harmony and stability, placing greater emphasis on collective well-being and social cohesion. Therefore, resistance to Western systems is often about preserving identity and self-determination, a desire to maintain cultural heritage and chart an independent course. This resistance is not necessarily about rejecting progress, but about defining progress on their own terms. Nations want to modernize on their own terms according to their own values and priorities, free from external pressures. They seek to adapt global ideas to fit their unique contexts, ensuring that development aligns with their cultural and societal needs. The desire is not to copy, but to chart their own path, forging a future that reflects their unique identity and aspirations. The long-held era of Western dominance is drawing to a close. The unipolar moment, where Western nations exerted unparalleled influence, is fading into the annals of history. It's being replaced by a multipolar world, a complex tapestry woven with diverse models of success, each offering unique approaches to governance, economic development, and societal well-being. This new era demands a shift in perspective. Insisting on a single path, a one-size-fits-all solution, risks alienating potential partners and undermining the very foundations of international cooperation. A rigid approach can breed resentment and distrust. It also risks misreading global realities, failing to appreciate the nuances of different cultures, histories, and aspirations. A narrow focus obscures the broader picture. The West must embrace humility, recognizing that its own experiences are not universally applicable, and that genuine progress requires open dialogue and mutual understanding. It must prioritize learning from others, actively seeking out diverse perspectives and incorporating them into its own understanding of the world. And it must dedicate itself to addressing its own internal flaws, the systemic issues that undermine its credibility and effectiveness on the global stage. This includes tackling political polarization, the growing divide that paralyzes decision-making and erodes public trust. It also means confronting inequality, the widening gap between the rich and the poor that fuels social unrest and undermines economic stability. And it requires addressing eroding trust in institutions, the growing skepticism towards established authorities that threatens the foundations of democracy. True leadership means setting an example of self-correction, demonstrating a willingness to acknowledge mistakes and implement meaningful reforms. It means fostering collaboration, not imposing one's will through coercion or manipulation. The future lies in mutual respect and peaceful coexistence, recognizing the inherent dignity and value of every nation and culture. It requires recognizing that values like freedom, while universally cherished, and stability, essential for societal well-being, can take different forms, reflecting the unique circumstances and aspirations of diverse societies. The West's challenge is to evolve, to become a genuine global partner, working collaboratively with other nations to address shared challenges. It must shed its role as a self-appointed missionary, imposing its values and beliefs on others. Only by listening attentively, adapting to changing circumstances, and collaborating effectively with others, can it hope to remain relevant and influential in shaping the future of the world. Only then can it contribute meaningfully to building a more peaceful, prosperous, and harmonious world for all. That is the extraordinary opportunity, the chance to forge a new era of global cooperation. And that is also the ultimate test, the challenge of adapting to a rapidly changing world. This is the defining test of our time, demanding wisdom, courage, and a commitment to building a better future for all.